Kursk region. During the night, Ukrainian pilots use a vampire drone to plant mines in order to have a ready target for destruction by morning. A few hours later, a Russian infantry fighting vehicle sets off for an assault and hits the previously planted mines. After hitting 2 mines, the armored vehicle loses control and comes to a stop. The same fate awaits the other Russian assault troops. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone identified the vehicle as a Russian Typhoon K. At the same time, drone pilots flew into the damaged vehicle and began launching strikes. The Russian armored vehicle had strong additional armor. We can see that the entire vehicle is protected by metal mesh screens, which prevent the drone from delivering a direct strike to the vehicle's armor. But as we can see, even the additional protection cannot save the vehicle from being destroyed. Then, Kamikaze drone pilots begin attacking another Russian armored vehicle, which had also been damaged after hitting a mine. Here is another destroyed Russian armored personnel carrier, reduced to nothing more than a heap of scorched metal. Russian assault group was completely eliminated. This is another Russian nighttime assault in the Donetsk region. An assault group on motorcycles attempted to break through to Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian kamikaze drone pilots were prepared for this and began fiercely welcoming the unwelcome guests. The frightened Russian assault troops abandoned their motorcycles and began hiding wherever they could. But soon, 2 Russian armored vehicles filled with infantry appeared on the horizon. The Russian plan was for the assault troops on motorcycles to break through deep into Ukrainian positions and establish themselves there, after which more infantry would arrive in armored personnel carriers to support them. But their plan failed, so they attempted to break through using the armored personnel carriers instead. Ukrainian drone pilots once again began attacking the enemy targets. One armored personnel carrier started emitting smoke from the explosions, and Russian infantry began jumping out of it. The armored personnel carrier came to a complete stop. At that same time, kamikaze drone pilots delivered a few more strikes. To completely destroy the Russian armored personnel carrier, a Ukrainian tank arrived on the battlefield and delivered a devastating strike, obliterating the vehicle. The Russian infantry, who had unsuccessfully arrived for the assault, began hiding among the ruins of a Ukrainian village. Drone pilots tracked them down and started launching attacks. This assault became the last one for the Russian infantry. Another Russian assault in the Donetsk region took place on April 6th. The Russians, using turtle tanks and armored personnel carriers, attempted to advance into the rear of Ukrainian forces, but they were intercepted in time by Ukrainian Kamikaze drone pilots. This Russian armored personnel carrier was brutally attacked by Ukrainian pilots, forcing the Russians to abandon it and take up positions in the nearby forest belt. Here comes a Russian turtle tank, which, as we can see, is well protected with additional protective mesh. And two more of the same tanks are charging forward. Drone pilots continue to actively strike the enemy tanks. After a series of hits, the tanks were stopped. Afterward, bomber drone pilots targeted the forest strip where the Russian occupiers were hiding. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel to not miss new videos. This material was prepared by Hustler. See you soon.